What's up guys, it's Drac, and continuing with our reviews, we have the Scravenger. Now I'm still going to put Scavenger in the video description and the title and probably the end screen, but it is the Scravenger. Scravenger not being a word that I normally put in my mouth makes me feel like it should be scavenger, but it's not, it's Scravenger. Anyway, I've made the garbage joke already. I love the Zombie Strike aesthetic. On the back here you can see that they've taken the Zombie Strike aesthetic to the nines. Full box design. These are our kids hanging out in the bunker. As things get worse in Zombie Strike survival world, the blasters get uglier, the zombies get meaner. I don't know if we're working our way up to the zombies eating and killing these kids. I truly have no idea. I think that would be an interesting conclusion because we've been on this journey for a while, but let's go ahead and unbox it. So what is it? It's a Zombie Strike version of the Sling Fire. Now the Sling Fire is technically a Zombie Strike blaster, but it's from that same hammer shot era where realistically we were repurposing Wild Wild West blasters. So it didn't have nearly the amount of Zombie Strike flavor that this blaster should have. So we've got a lot of instructions that we will inevitably ignore. And then the interesting thing about this blaster is that while I think it's way too expensive for what it is, they do, at least for the first time in a long time, try and give you an all-in-one value pack. So in my mind, this hasn't really been done right since the Retaliator, when it was all about giving you a bunch of different accessories in one blaster. But you get the blaster itself, you get this, which I believe is a flashlight. It is a flashlight, battery's not included. You get this funky soda can suppressor slash, I don't know, it's interesting because the suppressor's already been shot through, so it's not suppressing anything, but this goes on the front. Then you have the stock back here, which is in-strike compatible, which is really weird. You don't see a lot of in-strike compatibility in the Zombie Strike line, but here it is. And maybe that's because this is part of the new survival theme line, and they just want to make sure that you know that this is capable of hosting all of these different accessories. And then the thing that I really want to applaud them on is that they include, my Nerf Nation shirt's trying to get away from me. They include this extra double barrel jolt thing, which I think is really cool, so you do get a spare blaster. Reminds me of the old Super Soaker triple aggressor, triple threat. There was a Super Soaker back in the day that came with a single mini pistol attached to it, and I really liked that Super Soaker. I wonder if that was part of the design for this, or if they were just like, man, we can slap a jolt on anything these days. The thing that I'm super impressed by is that it comes with two magazines. These are two Nerf clips or magazines. I like to call them clipazines. And they've got plenty of Zombie Strike flavor on them. You've got these metal zip ties. You've got brackets down at the bottom. They even have a 12 in their paneling, and then they also have these scratches like that's how many kills you got. Now, still only enough darts to load it up twice, but at least you're loading up both of the magazines. Fully assembled, the blaster starts looking pretty interesting. You've got this top rail sight thing that's threaded because it's made of nuts and bolts, which is wild. But that also is a magazine holder, which is pretty cool. It's just a friction fit magazine holder. The stock, which is again removable, also holds that jolt. Now again, this isn't a great location for it because it does just slide out so very easily. But the reason that I'm not a huge fan of this, now you can really press it on if you want to, is because it's only on the right side. Left, right, it's only on the right side. Most people are right-handed, which means that it's right here in the crook of their arm, and it's very easy to catch it and pop it out. Once it's actually pressed on, it's much better than it was at Toy Fair for me, but it is food for thought. And then this goes on the front, or it tries to go on the front. That goes on the front. This goes in the blaster. That just flops around. Genius. Genius, the heavy thing that you attach to your in-strike rail. Alright, well, obviously I'm not the hugest fan of all of the accessories, but I will find my silver lining. Where do you put this flashlight underneath? Alright, there we go. So there it is in all of its Scravenger glory, but let's load it up, take it outside, and tell you what we really think. Let's go! Alrighty guys, so Blaster does come with exactly 26 darts, just enough to load both magazines and the hidden double jolt thing in the back. So let's go ahead and test ranges first, because that's the most important thing. All these accessories are kind of getting in my way, but we won't worry about that too terribly much. That was just randomly an 80-foot shot. These have got some really good float on them. So, clearly elite style Springer performance, ergonomically less sound than the Sling Fire. You would not want to do the Arnold Schwarzenegger trick while, always worry I don't pronounce his name right. So I did it once for you there. We'll try and do it one more time. Ouch. The biggest issue with that is that this priming bar and this gear setup seems to be just overall much softer than the original Sling Fire. However, it does have a trick that the Sling Fire does not. You can see here, this is one dart and then dart, dart, dart. So we'll finish our single fire action with this magazine on poor Steven over here. Now, one thing that I want to point out ergonomically is that I do have this light attached right now, and right now the light is making for a very poor foregrip. It's super weird. It's also going to be just a really bad light. I'm not dogging on Hasbro, it's just they're not really legally allowed to send you any sort of actual laser or torch. It has to be soft enough for their age range, and so they wind up just doing nothing practically. So in my mind, all Hasbro light enhancements, with the exception of the Rival Red Dot and the Elite Pinpoint sight, are just pretty much garbage. The Pinpoint sight was pretty cool looking, in my opinion, and then the Rival Red Dot was actually pretty cool because it was marketed very differently and had a much better setup. So the magazine release is now ambi. That's nice. However, it's really far in front. So once you've removed that from this, you can hold it kind of like this, which makes it slightly more comfortable. Let's go ahead and flip this switch. If you listen to that, you're actually tweaking some sort of serious mechanism in there. And oh, no way. All right, so I'll show you that in a second. But we are in slam fire mode now. We can go ahead and remove this now that we've used it for its magazine storage. And let's remove this as well and break it down really to its brass tacks. The stock can stay off. So with the stock off, we'll go ahead and pocket that for just a moment. This turns into a pretty cool pistol sling fire. And with with it in slam fire mode, hopefully, well, when we come up, it just fires. So that is a little wild. Man, it's just too soft compared to the sling fire. It's really hard to... Oh, yeah. All right, slam fire on this is awesome. I take it all back. Aesthetically, I think that it looks kind of neat. This is, of course, the new aesthetic for Zombie Strike, as it's getting wonkier and wonkier. But everything is forgiven. This is totally worth it. You can slam fire. All right, it's going to be bad. Here we go. It's going to hurt my hand. It's already hurting my hand having my knuckles cramped in here, but we have to do it. Somebody has to do it for science, boys. Wow. Okay, so once it's down, what if we... Oh, shot the ground. Okay, come on. If only there was a way to wrap around here, but every time I do it... All right, maybe like that. Boom! All right, excellent. All the way down. Oh yeah, all right, so we figured out how to be a straight shooter. I will show you that there is a jam door in this, which is not easy to access, what with this giant top rail up here, but with no magazine inside, it would get the job done. You could get in there. Performance is solid. This is a well-performing elite style internal blaster, but that's the gimmick right there, boys. The ability to one-hand wield this in pistol form and come up like pow is amazing. That's everything that I wanted out of the sling fire and never had, and now we've got it. So when you close this, it is going to close your jam door as well. That's pretty cool. All right, one last time, and we're empty. So The accessories, by and large, are garbage. This stock is pretty cool. It's a very cramped stock. It's very compact. You have to really want this. Of note, the stock point is upside down. So if you put anything else on this, like, I don't know what the logic there is, if they expect you to start doing this number, but the stock point is upside down, just a little weird. And this would, I don't know why you'd want an upside down jolt on one of your elite blasters, but the ability to mix and match is cool. Again, this is just a jolt, not to be confused with the excellent UK nerfing channel. This is just a jolt, but with 2 barrels and a smart AR system. So firing once gives you a nice little pop. Firing twice does it again. So luckily my yard seems to spawn darts just out of the ground. I wonder how that happens. And we can fire it for you a couple more times, but I would not leave darts stored in this just because of how weak these AR springs inside feel, but this is nice. Ergonomically, it is just a jolt. I mean, it seems like it has an even smaller plunger volume than regular jolts because they had to bump this down to make room for the second barrel. So that's why the performance is admittedly much softer than a regular jolt, particularly on that second barrel. However, assembling all this back together, I will do off camera, but I didn't know I would like the Scravenger. I am pleasantly surprised by it. It really does come down to being able to set it into slam fire mode and come back up like pow. I think that is just ridiculously cool. And not all Nerf blasters have to be the most tactical, the most amazing for war practicality setups. Like, this is pretty versatile, what with its ability to switch back and forth, but it's also just really, really fun. Like, that is a cool feature and well worth the MSRP of this blaster, in my opinion. Plus, you do get the accessories. Some people are going to love these accessories. Some people are going to hate these accessories. Some people are going to paint these accessories. But that is my review of the Scravenger. Agree, disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, much love, Nerf on, Drac out.